Guys, getting a fully funded admit in itself is not an easy task, and getting that for your master's degree in Canada with one backlog, you can imagine it's one of the hardest things in the world. In fact, you can go ahead and take a look at all of these admits and rejects on this page that we have. You can see the kind of admits people get, you can see the kind of profiles they have and what kind of funding they get. But getting a full funded scholarship, that's already rare, and getting it with a low CGPA, it's even rare. So I'm so proud to present you the profile of this applicant that we worked with for the complete application help service, and you can check the profile over here. We have hidden their personal details for obvious reasons, and you can take a look at the rest of the details. So they're from SRM Institute of Technology. Again, it's not one of the top 10 institutes in India, but it's definitely a pretty decent place to go to, right? And then there's the GPA, which is only 7.5 out of 10. That's almost a 70% when you take a look at it on a percentage scale, right? And then there's one backlog. Now, this is the surprising reason, right? One backlog and still full funding. We'll go on to tell you about which university it is in a moment. Stick around. So there's 4 months of work experience, right? It's definitely not a lot. And there's 4 research papers as well. All right. Now let me tell you, this is the single most biggest factor. I can be very sure about that. If you wanna counter a low CGPA, make sure you have 3 or 4 good research papers under your name, and you will see that it can bring tremendous results in your admissions. You will see that. I've talked about this in my previous videos. The only way you can offset a CGPA, of course, it's not easy to offset a CGPA, but at the same point, the only way you can do that is to have reputed research papers under your name. If you haven't seen those, make sure that you are working towards those. If you haven't seen previous videos, again, I'm telling you in this video, you should definitely focus on this thing, this aspect of your profile. All right, so now I'm going to be telling you about their scores. So let me actually take you to the scores tab. They have a 155 on the quant, 146 on the verbal. That makes it a 301, right? So 301 on the GRE, which is definitely not a top-notch score. You'll agree with me on this. And AWA, a pretty decent AWA of 4.0. The IELTS scores are again in front of you. The lowest is the speaking 6.5. The rest are averaging around a 7 to 7.5 mark, which is a pretty decent score again. All right. Now we'll move on to the decisions tab. This is the part which is the most important. They applied to a couple of Australian universities as well, but the whole plan with us was to apply for mostly Canadian universities. And you can see their admits, you can see their rejects, you can see the application dates. Now this is the most important one. We just got it. I believe we just got it on the 22nd of April. And you can see over here, $61,000 lump sum. That's the scholarship, guys. That's the scholarship. And before we had this, we were going for the Dalhousie University admit. Again, as you know, Australian universities, the borders are not open right now due to COVID, so they are basically out of the way, out of the picture again. But you can see there are pretty much all of the decent universities over here. The only one that we got a reject from was Waterloo. Okay, let me actually tell you exactly how this happened, exactly how we did this. Now, I'm not going to be showing you their resume over here for security purposes. The services they have taken, I have hidden the recommender names again for those purposes, but you can see over here that we applied to the same universities, and in fact you can see their profile evaluation that we did. They wanted to go for MIS, and we actually have an Excel spreadsheet over here that will basically show you the kind of admits that they received. Let me actually put it down. So this we actually did in May of, I believe, 2020, right? Let me actually show you. May 12th, 2020. So you can see that we were applying for fall 2021, but we started almost a year earlier. The earlier we start, the more are the chances of funding. That's the most important point to note. And I've seen this in so many admits till now. It's not the case that I have, see, let me tell you the biggest mistake people make. The biggest mistake they will make is that they will start their process early, okay? And sometimes people start it late, which is also a mistake, right? But the worst thing you can do is start early, and then you keep on going back and forth on your SOP, a little bit over here, a little bit change over there, and it's not final. It's still not final. I want to show this to my English professor. I want to show this to my IIT relative, something like that. Look, it's okay to have an SOP which is great, it's decent, but if you're applying late, let's say that the applications opened up in September, 1st of September, and you're applying in October or November, you're already a little bit late. There are applicants who have submitted on the 2nd, 3rd, 5th September itself, so they're way ahead of you. And those are the applicants who are usually considered the most for funding. Okay, so that's what we did in this scenario as well. Okay, so May 12th we did their shortlisting, and you can see the shortlist over here. We had York University at moderate. Waterloo was ambitious. Again, we got rejected from the ambitious one. all of these, apart from that Dalhousie, we got the admit, right? So there's definitely a lot going on over here. And you can see that this York University program, it's 20 months long, it's 5 terms. And let me actually show you the amount of tuition also that this person would have to pay over there, and we will compare it shortly with the amount of funding they have. Okay, so let me actually go over here again to the decisions tabs. We'll open up the York University page and I'll take you over here, and you can see that we have all programs that this university offers. We'll just search for information technology. You can see that the tuition for this program is close to $20,330, right? So we'll actually multiply that by 2, 2330 multiply by, this is the yearly tuition, by the way, so that's 20 months. 20 months, even if you take in the holidays and everything combined, it's usually 24 months. You can see approximately they are paying just $40,000. So their scholarship is actually exceeding the amount of tuition that they have to pay. And I'll actually show you on the official website of York University as well. If you just go on over here, you can see the student finances estimated costs of the program. And let me actually open this up again. Estimated education costs. You can see international students, that's very, very close to the estimate that we are giving you on the website. There are additional costs involved, textbooks, health plans, etc., etc. But even with the maximum amount you can basically take, with the maximum amount as well, if we just multiply this by 2, again, that's 47,530. I'm not quite sure if I'm doing that 100% correct, if it's 2 years long or lesser or whatever it is. But either way, I think that the scholarship does exceed a little bit when it comes to just the tuition cost. Or maybe if I'm wrong, maybe if there's more than 2 terms, maybe there's 2.5 terms, something like this, then it may be close to $60,000. But either way, I think that the scholarship over here that you can see of $61,000 lump sum, that's a lot. That's crazy amount of a scholarship. And for me, I have rarely seen this kind of a scholarship given out to students. But one thing I can tell you is the trend shifts towards the people who apply early. So this is all me trying to give you information, regardless of whether you are enrolling with us for the services or not. This is what we would try to focus. Let's say that you come to us, the first thing I'll tell you, man, is look, man, you're early. Okay, we want to keep it that way. We want to make sure that your documents are all ready by the time that we have to submit the applications. As soon as they open up, as soon as they start accepting, within the first 1 or 2 weeks, we want to submit all the applications. So that's really the whole goal. And yeah, of course, make sure you take a look at the other admits and rejects as well. That's the admits rejects page over here. You can basically go into resources and decisions. You can see so many more decisions over here with a lot of other applicants also who are getting the funding. You can see their application dates and everything. So it's really, really important you do your own research. It's all given to you for free, so make sure you do that. And thank you so much for all the support you've been giving me lately. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to connect with me, you can do so over my Instagram. If you want to get updates on these future videos, you can basically go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Goodbye and take care for now.